Alright guys, it's Mr. H Reviews here with another Alien Covenant theory speculation video. The topic of this came from both a comment on one of my videos by a subscriber, James Rower, sorry if I mispronounced your name, and a topic video from another YouTuber who makes absolutely fantastic content. His name's Nick Hosteder. Check him out from the link in the description box below. So you already know from the title, we're going to talk about the origins of the original Xenomorph as we know it. Potential spoilers ahead for this topic. However, take all of this with a massive pinch of salt. The information is a leak from someone who was apparently lucky enough to have seen 15 minutes of the film. So we can assume this person shouldn't have said anything, and as such, it's pretty doubtful that this is true. However, it's super fun to speculate and theorize surrounding these theories and things. So as we know, the end of Prometheus revealed the Deacon, which was as close as we got to the Xenomorph in the entire film. But obviously it was far from the alien horror as we know it. To go from the Deacon to the Xenomorph, there seems to be a few big leaps we need to make. They change quite drastically in appearance, and as yet there doesn't seem to be a logical explanation for that. So now what has been leaked in, by that guy who saw apparently the 15 minutes, is that David is the missing link, which gets us the Xenomorph. So from the Deacon to the Xenomorph. It gets us the biomech exoskeleton, the hard metallic teeth, etc. Apparently all of that is of synthetic origin. This theory has obviously divided fans and left a lot of people really disgruntled, as they like the natural origin of the Xenomorphs, which people originally believed to be the case. So like I say, take this with a pinch of salt. When I initially first heard this, I out and out disregarded it. However, having thought about it, there are some ways that this theory could work, both in storytelling and also in the lore that Ridley Scott has created by Prometheus, so in the universe that they've made. We know that David's arc was not fully complete by the end of Prometheus. David sees himself as a higher being under the constraints of his maker. His maker now being killed, he's free. We have yet to explore what this higher being will do once his chains have been removed. So in terms of how we know that he sees himself as a higher being, there were some kind of points and statements that were made throughout that movie, and a few quotes here. Charlie Holloway says, "They're making you guys pretty close," and David retorts with, "Not too close, I hope," which does imply that David sees himself as something higher and better, and would not want to be comparable to a human. And then there was a specific scene that David says to Dr. Shaw, "That being said, doesn't everyone want their parents dead?" So we know that he doesn't, although he is, well-mannered to Wayland, obviously in programming and such like that, these kind of comments implies that, one, he doesn't like humans, and two, he doesn't like his maker either. So in terms of storytelling, if David were to somehow become godlike and a creator, this would nicely continue and finalize his story arc. But obviously, how does this fit into combining, to create the Xenomorph itself? So this is where it gets tricky, and where I initially disregarded it completely, because we know the black goo has absolutely no effect on David. He held it on his fingertip for some time, time enough for it to have an effect at the very least. We know that this black goo takes on some similarities from its host, the trilobite, which was at the end of Prometheus, that birthed the Deacon, has some characteristics of the engineer. And we saw the worms mutate into bigger worm-like beings, the little meal worms, the little grub things. So we know that it takes on some of the DNA, it takes on some of the characteristics. So, how does this kind of fit in? So Ridley Scott can actually get around this plot hole by, now bear with me, the sacrificial liquid at the start of Prometheus. Now, this substance doesn't act in the same way as the black goo, or I believe it doesn't anyway. It's very clearly a different type of mutagen or accelerant. We saw this break the engineer down completely. It disintegrated him, and then it reassembled his genetic makeup to form the cells and seed the life on planet Earth, which is, potentially planet Earth anyway. So what if David found one of these sacrificial vials at the engineer homeworld and decided to use it? So I believe that this is one way that we could see the synthetics combine with the mutagen to create the Xenomorph as we know it in the Aliens, the original movies. So I personally like this theory after giving it some thought, and it would be a great way to, one, round out David's character arc, but also to give a new dimension to the Xenomorph, why they have such intelligence, why they are seemingly a perfect killing machine, and just why they're essentially built for all of this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more theory, speculation and review videos. Leave a like if you did enjoy this, and I'll catch you in the comment section later.